Okay, so I think it's recording. Am I recording? Okay. So I'm currently sitting on my floor because it turns out when I actually move away from my desk, which is currently over there, this setup here to sit down and talk is actually so much nicer than me having to sit down on my chair, get my camera, get my PC, get OBS up. This is why I love cameras, DSLRs, and especially the Pocket 3, is that I can just sit down and talk to the camera with just pressing a button. That's why I wanted to get into vlogging, and I'm so happy with this right now. So I've only just got this today. So as of today, it is the 27th of September, 2025, as of recording. So I had not done any outside tests, so I'll be doing that either tonight or tomorrow. Without further ado, I want to get into the little bit of the price and technical side. So number one is obviously the actual price. So with the base model, so that is just the Pocket 3, the little extender at the bottom, which you can attach your accessories, and the little wrist holder with it as well, I believe, and the cable itself. That all comes to 489 British pounds. Now, that is a lot of money. So I work a full-time job, minimum, oh my God, I can't speak English. So I work minimum wage full-time. And of course, this is not like the cheapest thing you can do. If you have, like, for example, your phone, absolutely use your phone. Use that to your advantage. I got this because I'm a lover of tech, and I wanted to see the difference between my phone versus my webcam versus this. My mother is hoovering. Are you kidding me? I personally wanted to buy the Creator Combo because it included this microphone, the case, and it also included the little travel bag. Now I feel weird because my mom can now hear me talking to myself and I look fucking insane. The Creator Combo, as of right now, is around £619, which is very expensive. I got it at a massive discount to what it was because it was on a deal on Amazon, and I was waiting for it to go on some kind of deal where I'd be more convinced to buy it. Now, for the price of the camera and all that's included, it is, I would say personally, it is absolutely worth the price for what you're getting. I mean, the quality of the camera itself, the audio tech, and also on top of that, just the feel of the camera. I think personally it is quite worth it. From just the first look, I will give a more updated video when I've had like a more chance to get used to it, have a few videos out, feel more confident in the camera itself. So because I'm British, I can see in recent videos involving the Pocket 3 that in America the price has gone up to, I believe it was $972, I believe, in like Costco. That is insane. So I personally would not pay that amount for this camera, only because with that amount of money you could easily go buy yourself a Sony ZV-5172, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's the Sony ZV-15 or 015, something like that, or 01 or 010. I don't know, but there is a specific vlogging camera. I will put a picture up here where you can clearly see the camera. And now, you don't have to buy a DSLR. I personally bought the Pocket 3 because of one, it was at a discounted rate, and two, I've been eyeing this thing for, I want to say, 7 months. So this came out in 2023. Technically, in nowadays technical terms, it is classed as an older model. That's because the Pocket 4 has not come out, and we believe that's meant to be coming out, I believe, 2026 to 2027 on guesses from what I've seen online and what DJI is currently saying as well themselves. I wanted to buy the Pocket 3. I didn't want to buy these smaller models because I'd be, if I'm honest, this is the perfect size for me. The camera itself and the gimbal with all the extra accessories that I bought and that comes with it, it is the perfect size. But if I were to get the smaller, more compact versions of the newer models, I would feel very uncomfortable having that on me because I'm a bigger person. I've got big hands. Some issues that I would think would happen to me, I'd probably either break it in my hands by pure accident, or as a matter of fact, I'd magnetic connect it somewhere where I live and I would lose it. And someone would find it and then think it would be spyware from the government. Next, I want to talk about is the actual package itself, like, so what's included. So you also have the Pocket 3 in itself, you have the DJI microphone, and you have the battery handle, tripod, and the case, and the wide angle lens. That is a lot in one sentence, bloody hell. So I believe that with these prices I will list here for these different products, they are so much more if you buy them singly and not as the combo. I know it is still so very expensive, but if you are wanting to go into some kind of content creation or just to have this for yourself or for your family and friends, just to have a little memory keepsake in a higher quality and you have the money to spare, I would say go for it. But if you're not looking for something this expensive, this grand, in terms of your budget or the quality you're looking for, I would personally recommend something else. I will try and find something to recommend. I think it's called the Powerhouse Z10 by Sony. That is a bit more compact and smaller. It's a bit of an older model. It doesn't have the greatest audio from what I can tell. Has pretty good camera quality, but not in the light, which is also why I wanted to get the Pocket 3, which is why it has better for studio lighting. It also has better for outside lighting. It is a lot of different things personally that I wanted to go for this camera. I'm gonna list the pros. It is truly portable. So I've only had this for today, but what I can already tell, in that travel case, I already have all my accessories that can easily fit inside. I can take it in my big backpack, or I can take it by itself, or I can take it in my little tote bag. And it is as easy as that. You flip the screen, you turn it on, and you press record. It is that simple. Now, you can obviously do that with your phone, but a phone will only get you so far. So with things like Apple and Apple phones, they have a saturation effect that I personally cannot find to get rid of. The next pro is stabilization. Now, stabilization is one of those things that I was actually really looking forward to see. So when you are out on a walk or on a run, when you have a big camera or your phone, there is only so much that it can do. With some cameras, obviously, they do have the stabilization option. With things like your phone, it can sometimes offer, but it will not be the greatest. That's why I wanted to go for the Pocket 3 because of the gimbal that it comes with. So with the camera on a gimbal, it really reaches a new height, in my personal opinion, of stabilization. So talk about microphones. So I'm currently using this microphone, which is part of the Creator Combo, which is the DJI Audio mic, I think it's called. And with this microphone, it really, really does have good quality. So I just got it connected to my t-shirt, which is by the magnet, which is behind my shirt. I will not take my shirt off because, you know, that's for a different website and not for today, sweethearts, I'm sorry. Now, so this one kind of is a pro and it can lead into the cons, is battery life. So with the battery, I quite am a bit iffy about the battery. It's one of the reasons I didn't want to buy it in the first place, but I did buy it in the end, obviously. So when you are recording 4K at 60 FPS, you can get around 116 minutes average just on the camera itself. With 1080p and 24 FPS, you can get around 166 minutes, about 3.5 odd hours. Another great thing is fast charging. Now, like your phone, if you have a newer phone model, so things like the Samsung 24, 25 series, or the iPhone 15 and above series, things like fast charging come really in handy. So you can get about 80% charge on fast charging in about 16 to 20 minutes. That is bloody brilliant. And when I go out to vlog, I will be most likely carrying around a portable charger, which honestly is not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, it's a bit frustrating to have an extra cable and an extra block just to charge something off of it. But at the same time, when you're recording something in a high quality, so I'm currently recording in 4K and 30 frames per second. When you're recording something of that high quality on a tiny camera, you have got to assume that at some point, it's gonna die. So now we move on to the cons / the limitations of the Osmo Pocket 3. The first one is that it's not waterproof. This is probably going to be an issue for me at some point in time. Right now, I'm loving this, but probably later down the line when I'm in the rain trying to record, it's probably going to mess me up a little bit as I'm British, the weather does get pretty awful around here. When I'm recording, obviously it's going to start raining at some point. If I'm outside, I will be probably a bit worried about the waterproof, and obviously in difficult terrains such as going into the woods or the forest, obviously there is gonna be some issues with the gimbal. Now, as I said in the pros, it has great stabilization, but because it has great stabilization, there is also the fault that it can be classed as flimsy. Because it can get flimsy, the only issue that you have is that because it's on a tiny gimbal, when you're running around so much to the point, if you drop it even on a flat surface, you can damage it quite easily. So that's why you need to get things like a protector, which is what I'm gonna buy tomorrow. You need these certain little things just to give it that extra protection. Things like your phone, things like your AirPods, things that are classed as delicate. They can be strong, but they still can be delicate. They can break within minutes. So I'll definitely say get a protector, get something just to make sure that it'll be okay in the end. So another thing that I have seen, not I've experienced yet as I haven't been out in public yet, what I've seen on YouTube and TikTok is that with the face follows you around, the camera can sometimes lose tracking of you because you are in a busy area with a lot of people. Because obviously when the camera sees a lot of heads, it's trying to focus on you, but it can get lost in direction. What else did I buy? So right now I have currently bought just an extra lens and also just a little bits and bobs like an extra tripod and a little silicone pad when it's on my desk. See, you don't need all these extra things, but the one thing I would buy that is digital, accidental damage. I cannot say this enough. You need accidental damage on any product you buy. No matter what it is, even if it's your phone, get accidental damage. If it's a camera, accidental damage. If it's your AirPods, accidental damage. If it's your dog, accidental damage. In all seriousness, when you buy something this expensive, obviously, sometimes some things can go wrong. Now, that's not me trying to persuade you to not buy this because it is absolutely perfect for me personally. The only thing I would say is just get insurance. I personally have bought the 2-year warranty, which is £50. The other one, which is a 1 year, which you can renew every year. That one is worth £32. So with the £32 option, the 1 year guarantee, that one is, you can only get 2 different uses out of it. If something goes wrong, you can only do it 2 times within that year. If you don't have insurance, that means you could possibly get a free replacement, or you can get it fixed for free or for a very cheap price. But if it is beyond repair, that means that you will have to buy it again or get something completely different. That is the most life or death situation, but it is very real. It's happened to me before with different things, and I have cried my little eyes out so many times because of this. So get that protection just to make sure that you're in a safe zone, okay? Please.